All right, y'all. It is a great day. So since Trump has took office, he's been in about 5 days, y'all. He has been making a lot of things happen. Some of the things that he has been stating in his rallies and all through his campaigns since he's been doing them. Well, when he got sworn in on the 20th, y'all, he started right in the Capitol signing executive orders. And one of them was pardon, some of the January, well, if not majority of them, of innocent people, while your boy Biden was out here pardoning everybody who's actual criminals and actually played a part in this sad situation. Now, I've had plenty of content on my channel, y'all, showing interviews of the actual January 6ers, coming out saying their side of the story, which we the people have been waiting for a long time. They are now being interviewed and being able to actually have their voices heard. You know what I'm saying? So as we continue down this rabbit hole, y'all, we gonna get down to the bottom of the truth, because this is what this content and channel is all about, is getting to the truth. You know what I'm saying? Trying to state the facts, and I love my people here, you know what I'm saying, my family, because if I don't know something, I can dang sure ask them to drop it in the comment section, y'all, and they will fill me in, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I'm not the only one on this journey. You have a lot more people who have told me that are on this journey as well. So I just ask y'all to share the video, share the content, y'all, get it out there, because there's a lot of people like myself, and I'm going in on 3 years now, who is curious and who wants to know. Some people are just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? And I would not dare go back to who I was before I was introduced to, what really goes on in our world, who really has our back, who don't, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, not only that, y'all, I don't know if y'all remember, but Beverly Williams, I'm pro-life, she's pro-life, she was simply protesting or whatever, and they locked her up. Well, she's also too been pardoned by your boy President Trump. So that's a beautiful thing, because we have the rights, you know what I'm saying, to be able to be heard, for our voices to be heard. If we don't like something, you know what I'm saying, and everybody is voiced to their own opinion, and that's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Why are people being locked up and put away, you know what I'm saying, not even being convicted, just waiting for trial that may have never happened if Trump wouldn't have got in office? You get what I'm saying? These folks have probably been locked away for good. So we about to dive into this video, y'all. Then we're going to chop it up towards the end. So this is Tarrio. He arrives in Miami airport, y'all. So he has also been pardoned by Trump. And we get to now hear his side. So with that being said, y'all, let me shut up and let's go ahead and get into the video. And we'll chop it up towards the end. Let's go.
Debris. We want to go straight over to Local 10's Leanne Motorhome, who is watching Proud Boy Enrique Tarrio come out. Let's listen in.
Clarify your role with the organization?
So 4 years ago, we decided that we weren't going to release publicly how our organization works. But I've said this before.
Founder of Proud Boy.
I'd suggest to stop referring to me as ex-Proud Boy leader.
Okay, so I know in the beginning there was a little bit of confusion or uncertainty about how far-reaching the pardons would be. Mm-hmm. We know this was pretty much a pardon for everyone, a commutation for 14.
Yes.
Do you agree with that? Do you believe that some of those who were more violent should not have been? What are your thoughts?
So I'm not going to condone violence, but the process, it wasn't about what they did. It was about the process, how we went to trial, and how the DOJ prosecuted these cases and allowed for a biased jury, situations where the prosecutors were putting up evidence that would not be tolerated in any other district. And I honestly think that the prosecutors, Merrick Garland, Matthew Graves, they should be investigated. And if they committed any crimes, they should be prosecuted. You said on InfoWars that they should pay the price. I believe that's what was your word. What do you believe? What does that look like? I think justice put them through the same system that we went through. The same exact system that we went through, put them through. Because it wasn't, I'm glad that the J6 situation brought it to light. But this system's been rigged for a lot of people, for a lot of non-violent offenders.
For a long time.
A lot of time, and those people are still in there. They don't get pardons.
A jury saw the evidence presented, however you feel about that evidence. They found you guilty of seditious conspiracy. What did they get wrong? What are they missing?
What do I feel like they got wrong? I feel like it wasn't fair to seat them as jurors when they obviously had bias. If anybody followed our trial, because it wasn't just my trial, it was 4 other gentlemen, they could have seen that these people, they had their biases. They said that to the judge, and the judge still sat them. They asked if they had any bias towards the Proud Boys or myself, and they said yes. And the judge asked them if they could get that and put their feelings aside. And they said no, they couldn't put it aside, and the judge rehabilitated those jurors and sat them on the jury. It's not a fair trial. We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here if we would have had at least, you want to arrest me? Fine. But give me a fair trial. Take it out of the district and give me Virginia. Give me somewhere that's fair. I'll take it. We wouldn't have this conversation because we wouldn't have been found guilty.
At your sentencing, you called January 6th a national embarrassment. Do you still feel that way?
I think it was a sad day in America, but I think it needed. Okay. I think politicians need to start listening to their constituents, and they're not.
Have you been in touch with any other pardoned January 6ers?
Yes, I've already talked to my 4 guys, and I've been in contact with a couple of other pardoned J6ers. They're super happy, and they're super excited to see their families.
Have you been reached out to by the White House or anyone related to President Trump about being part of his political sphere or anything like that?
I doubt that. He saw what was wrong, and he put it together. I'm not a politician. I'm just a regular street kid from Miami.
We have a Sunday show called This Week in South Florida with Glenn and Milberg. Would you want to come on and say more of your side?
I would like to come on. I don't know what I'm doing Sunday. I might be on the grill on Sunday.
Look, okay.
What are you going to do now when you see your mom?
I'm going to give her the biggest hug that I think I've ever given her in my life. I hope we have medics on standby because I'm going to squeeze her really hard.
Yeah. What's your message to the president?
My message to the president is thank you. Thank you. Promises made, promises kept, and justice was served on January 21st, 2025. Thank you.
Mr. Tarrio, sorry.
Yes.
Are you finished?
Oh, okay.
I'm with the aviation department.
Okay.
Pleasure. So there's lots of people in close security, so we can't stop where they are, but the unit, or else people behind you will get delayed.
Okay.
So
we don't want that.
do you want to talk to them again?
And you are seeing live pictures right now. This is at Miami International Airport where Enrique Tarrio, who says that he doesn't want to be referred to as an ex-Proud Boy, has just landed in Miami, his hometown, after being locked up. He had received the longest sentence for his role in the January 6th Capitol attack.
And Leanne, I know you have had the opportunity now to speak to him. What is the situation? There are a lot of people. I saw him wave at some people. Are people shouting out to him at all or recognizing him?
We're actually exiting out through the security area past TSA. You can see there's a large group of media out here as well. And here is the reunion that he was waiting for, embracing his mother.
The hug he promised there, squeezing her as hard as he can.
And he talked about how,
Let's listen in.
Trump made this happen, y'all. I don't care what they say about the pardons and how you're supposed to use them. Majority of these people were innocent. Majority of these people were provoked. From the stories and the interviews that I've been hearing that took place, it started out peacefully. These folks were provoked. Some of their stories, they didn't even do. They just had to say guilty to see if they can get, less time and all this other type of stuff that was going on, y'all. It's a sad situation because they've been taken away from their families, some for months, some for years. You know what I'm saying? Some for this entire actual 4 years. And so you know, they say you use pardons certain ways. Well, Biden, we've seen how he used his pardons and stuff, and we've seen the videos escalate and get swept up underneath the rug. We've heard these things. We've seen these things with our own eyes, and we know what they've done. And I'm not just trying to say this side, that side, but what I'm saying is some of these people are innocent. And the innocent ones do need to be out. Now, the ones who need to be up in there threw up the jail, I could name a good few, but I'm not finna sit here and take my time and do all that. We know who need to be up in there for real, if we trying to be real. But seeing moments like this, you know what I'm saying, is a beautiful thing. Seeing moments like this, it just tells you that the president's been screaming this entire time, once he makes the House, what he's going to do. And he's done everything thus far he said he was going to do. This is the type of stuff you have to pay attention to.
Welcome home. Has Trump invited you to the White House?
Yes, I know.
Enrique Tarrio, Proud Boys leader, convicted of seditious conspiracy, now pardoned by President Trump, receiving a hero's welcome here at Miami International Airport.
Let's
Arrivals.
go, baby.
Here he's embracing his
Trump.
attorney. He embraced his mother, his fiance. We heard cheers in the distance as folks who have caught wind of his arrival here at Miami International Airport are pleased to see that he's now a free man and have clapped. There are, of course, people who don't agree with this pardon.
Oh, well, the hell with them.
A total of.
But we have not heard anyone protesting that yet. Let's see what else he has to say.
Fox News, yeah. Here we go now. Oh, I'm so glad for you. I'm so happy.
Oh, yeah, keep it moving, yeah. Yeah, them reporters and journalists, they be ready, boy. Look at it.
Back up! Get back! Get back!
It's becoming a little dangerous now as you have international media here who have gathered for Enrique Tarrio's arrival at Miami International Airport. The now pardoned Proud Boys member arriving just a short time ago into the terminal, walking past checkpoint 7 here at Miami International Airport. As you can see here, it is chaos. There's a huge crowd, not only of media, but people with their cell phones out, just in awe of what's happening. You can bet a lot of people who are just here to travel are very much caught off guard.
I know, they like, I'm just trying to get to my flight, baby.
Channel 10 is fake news.
And all of this happening so quickly, right? I mean, had President Trump not won the election, Enrique Tarrio would still be serving time in prison, and he had been sentenced. He had been given the longest sentence in this. We were awaiting his arrival last night, actually, and he ended up coming this afternoon. And you can see certainly an emotional reunion and a lot of people wanting to hear his reaction. We've heard him in other interviews also thanking President Trump for this pardon. And he said that he was going to give his mom the biggest hug as promised. We witnessed that as well.
We saw that hug.
It sounds like he has some plans to grill for the weekend. But Leanne, as you had talked about, I mean, this is a controversial move. Some agree. It looked like he was greeted with cheers there at the airport. So those are people who support this decision. But can you talk a little bit about people who maybe feel like this wasn't the best choice?
Nah, we don't give a hell about them.
It's so controversial.
We don't care what they say.
Absolutely. I mean, first you had the uncertainty of whether or not these pardons would happen and to what extent. Just really quickly, I want to address what we're seeing right now. Enrique Tarrio and his family and his attorney getting into that waiting SUV that's now speeding out of the airport. Things got pretty chaotic here, as I'm sure you could observe. I tried to stay a little bit outside of the scrum, if you will, since we were already, we got our chance to speak to him one-on-one. But as you could see there, I mean, just so many people. He was one of the highest profile people to be arrested in connection with January 6th. He had a role, according to the feds, in planning a lot of what you saw on that day, even though he was not physically in Washington, D.C. He received the longest sentence. A jury found him guilty of seditious conspiracy. And here we are, just a couple of days after the election of Donald Trump, the inauguration of Donald Trump, as you mentioned, and he's a free man. There were a couple times yesterday where we thought he was arriving on a flight coming from, a couple possible connections. Those were delayed. We believe that not only a prolonged release from the prison was part of the reason why, but there's also some nasty weather, right, that we've been reporting is going on and affecting other parts of the country. Now we finally settled on this flight arriving at 3 o'clock or just after 3 o'clock here at MIA, arrived with no delays, taxied, arrived at the gate, and he was one of the first few people to get off of the plane, and we were able to speak to him basically immediately, and I'm sure you saw there live on TV. So he had a lot to say. Of course, he has feelings about how his trial went. He did, of course, face trial for those federal charges and found guilty of seditious conspiracy, but now he is a free man, pardoned, back in South Florida, and we do expect to hear from him again tomorrow, as we have not received final word, but we have heard from family, from a public relations firm that's representing the family, that they do plan to hold an official press conference, a lot less chaotic, likely, than what we saw here today, but we should expect to hear more from Tarrio now that he is back in South Florida and been pardoned by President Trump.
And Leanne, it's such a good job getting that one-on-one before that chaos erupted outside of the airport there. And were you surprised with anything that he had to say, or is he pretty much sticking to what he's been saying all along, that he didn't mind being arrested? It was more the trial, and that he felt like he had a very unfair trial.
Well, yes, he did say that he felt like he did not get a fair shake. We know that he's made other public comments where he believes that because the trial was held in Washington, D.C., that any jury that he was going to sit in front of would not be fair to him. He believes, because he basically believes that there's too many Democrats there and people who would be predisposed to be against him just before hearing any of the evidence. That's what he believes. So he did face that jury that did convict him. I did ask him about remarks that he made at his sentencing, where he described the events of January 6th as a national embarrassment, despite the fact that what the evidence showed presented by the federal government was that he had hands in planning it, that he was communicating with other Proud Boys members and other people who were on the ground as all of it was unfolding. So you heard his answer about that there. He said he has not been reached out to by the Trump administration or anyone directly tied to the president. And he made it very clear that he is a member of the Proud Boys. And while he did not specify exactly where he lands or what exactly his role or title is with the organization, he does say that he is a member, and that it would be inaccurate to describe him as a former member or former leader of the Proud Boys.
Yeah, he said that loud and clear. He does not want to be called an ex-Proud Boy. And I just want to go over this again, Leanne. So he left a prison in Louisiana and then made his way to Dallas. And of course, here we know in Texas they've had severe weather, extreme weather with the winter storm. So we were waiting for his arrival. Can you talk a little bit? Again, I know it got interrupted with just all the chaos happening outside of the airport, but why this is such a controversial pardon? He was pardoned a total of 1,500 people people were pardoned. He was one of them. He was the most controversial one, some would argue. Can you explain why some people are in support of this and why others might feel like this was a wrong decision?
Well, we know that the extent of the pardons has been spoken again, been opposed now by police unions and other members of law enforcement who felt like they were the ones that were under attack largely during the Capitol breach. So a lot of people who have very strong opinions about what unfolded, but we will continue to cover this story.
All right, well, great job getting that one-on-one. Once again, Leanne, we'll let you go here, and we are going to take a quick break and be back with more news.
Okay, y'all. So
I want to begin with.
So what I'm trying to do
people
is
have seen you most recently in your late.
Understand what that movement, Proud Boys. What was the movement behind the Proud Boys? Now that's something that I need to research on my own. You know what I'm saying, and find out for myself so I can come right here and tell y'all to drop it in the comment section. Did he have a role in what took place as far as like on the wrong side, promoting all the violence and stuff like that? Or was he simply out there doing like a peaceful protest? Y'all drop it in the comment section. I'm definitely going to look into him because I have seen some of the other interviews with the January 6th where, they were falsely accused of things that they didn't do at all. You know what I'm saying? So I must say and keep it real here, I got to do my research into him and Proud Boys. Like, what did that stand for? What was the reason why, he had the longest term out of all of them and things like that. Now, one thing I can't agree with is a fair trial is a fair trial. Like he said, he didn't mind being arrested, but he wanted a fair trial. So, y'all, fill me in the comment section. When I get up out of here, I'm going to go ahead and do my research on this because, again, he is one of the ones in Proud Boys that I need to look into to actually see what it stands for, what it is that they do, and y'all go ahead and fill me in the comment section. All right, let's go ahead and chop it up. What are y'all thoughts on this? Should he have been pardoned? Let me know. Okay? Let me know. Until the next reaction, y'all be safe out there. I'm up out of here.